Welcome to Bills Nation Daily, your ultimate daily dose of everything Buffalo Bills. Hit that subscribe button and join the most passionate Bills fans as we break down all the latest news, highlights, and game analysis. Go Bills! The NFL world has been set ablaze this week with an unexpected twist coming straight from Atlanta, where Falcons quarterback Michael Penix Jr. reportedly let loose some candid thoughts about the Buffalo Bills, and not in the kindest way. Sources close to the locker room say that during what was supposed to be an off-the-record interview, Penix's remarks about the Bills' performance and overall team structure were far from diplomatic. According to insiders, he hinted at what some might call a low level of play, questioning the strategic approach and talent depth that Buffalo has shown this season. Naturally, in a league where every word can be scrutinized and magnified, these comments have instantly become the talk of sports media outlets across the country. Fans are buzzing on social media, dissecting every syllable of Penix's statements, with some interpreting them as playful banter and others reading them as outright disrespect. Meanwhile, sports analysts are jumping on the rumor, breaking down the potential implications for league dynamics, upcoming matchups, and even locker room morale within both franchises. The ripple effect of a single comment, intentional or not, has reminded everyone why the NFL is as much about narratives off the field as it is about action on the gridiron. This rumor, whether fully accurate or slightly exaggerated by hearsay, has caught the attention of fans, commentators, and even former players who are weighing in on the perceived disrespect. Penix Jr., who has been steadily carving out a reputation for himself as a dynamic quarterback with a sharp arm and vision, seems to have inadvertently thrown the spotlight onto inter-team tensions. The conversation around his comments has ignited a debate not just about talent levels, but about professional courtesy in the NFL and how players navigate the delicate balance between confidence and criticism. Some analysts speculate that Penix's critique may stem from first-hand experience during league meetings or preseason interactions, giving him insights that outsiders rarely see. Others suggest that it could be a strategic move, an intentional provocation to psych out opponents before the next season begins. In any case, the reaction from Bills fans has been swift and vocal, with social media accounts dedicated to breaking down the quarterback's words, often mixing humor, outrage, and tactical counterarguments. Meanwhile, insiders hint that the Falcons' locker room is abuzz with excitement over Penix's comments, suggesting that this might actually galvanize team cohesion as they position themselves against one of the league's perceived elite teams. The NFL rumor mill rarely rests, and Penix Jr.'s remarks about the Bills have only added fuel to an already roaring fire. Observers note that the way players speak about rival teams can significantly impact how the media and public perceive them, creating storylines that stretch far beyond the confines of the stadium. The timing of Penix's comments is particularly intriguing, coming just as analysts are projecting a competitive season ahead, with the Bills being touted as a Super Bowl contender. This juxtaposition between a rising quarterback in Atlanta and a championship-caliber squad in Buffalo sets the stage for a narrative that is as compelling off the field as any touchdown drive or defensive sack. Rumors are swirling that coaches on both sides are aware of the chatter and may be subtly using it to motivate their rosters, emphasizing that the psychological game is just as critical as physical preparation. The whispers in training facilities, combined with fan reactions online, create a heightened sense of anticipation for when these two teams inevitably cross paths on the field. Every gesture, every headline, every quote now carries amplified significance, and Penix Jr.'s word to become a lightning rod, provoking conversations that stretch from sports talk radio to casual football debates in living rooms across the nation. Adding to the intrigue, there are speculations that Penix's statements could have strategic undertones intended to unsettle the Bills ahead of potential playoff matchups. The notion that a quarterback would openly question the competence or talent of a rival team is rare, but when it happens, it immediately becomes a talking point for analysts dissecting the mental aspects of the game. Sports media outlets are reportedly reaching out to sources within both franchises to verify the authenticity of the comments, while fan forums and social media threads explode with speculation, memes, and debates. The intensity of the response highlights how a single quote can evolve into a narrative arc spanning weeks, influencing everything from team preparation to fan sentiment. The broader NFL community is watching closely, with every mention of the Bills' low-level play being parsed for meaning, context, and potential motivation. Even former players have weighed in, providing commentary on whether such statements reflect arrogance, confidence, or simply a miscommunication blown out of proportion by media amplification. This is the kind of rumor that thrives precisely because it taps into emotions, rivalries, and the human tendency to scrutinize the words of high-profile athletes. Behind the headlines, sources suggest that within the Falcons' own locker room, reactions have been mixed but largely entertained with humor and camaraderie. PENIX Jr.'s personality, described by teammates as outspoken and confident, fits into the pattern of athletes who occasionally let their opinions slip during candid moments, revealing their inner thoughts in ways that ignite conversation. Coaches may have quietly reminded him about the optics of such statements, but insiders say the team recognizes the potential media storm as both a challenge and an opportunity to rally around their quarterback. The narrative has taken on a life of its own, spreading through podcasts, fan streams, and post-game shows, with commentators debating whether PENIX's remarks could translate into a psychological advantage or if they risk motivating a historically tough Bills squad. Rumors are also circulating that Bills players themselves have caught wind of the comments, potentially fueling a competitive fire that could manifest in more intense training sessions and a heightened sense of purpose when these two teams meet. The story, while initially a whisper, is now a full-fledged topic dominating sports discourse. As the NFL offseason progresses, the ripple effect of PENIX Jr.'s statements continues to grow, fueling a whirlwind of speculation, anticipation, and analysis. Sports journalists and commentators are meticulously dissecting every nuance, looking for insight into whether these comments were offhand, intentional, or part of a larger strategy to shape the narrative before the season kicks into full gear. Fan reactions range from amusement to outrage, with social media accounts dedicated entirely to tracking the fallout and predicting potential consequences. Meanwhile, former coaches and analysts have entered the conversation, weighing in on how such statements might influence team dynamics, rivalries, and even contract negotiations, emphasizing that the NFL is as much about perception and psychology as it is about performance. Whether PENIX Jr. intended to provoke, jest, or honestly critique, the story has embedded itself in the fabric of NFL storytelling, generating discussions that promise to persist well beyond the initial remark. Every new rumor, quote, or insider report now adds another layer, ensuring that the debate about the Bills' low-level performance and PENIX's audacity will continue to dominate headlines for weeks to come, and the intrigue shows no signs of slowing down. The fallout from PENIX Jr.'s controversial remarks about the Bills has prompted a surge of speculation regarding possible repercussions both on and off the field. Analysts point out that a quarterback taking aim at a rival team in such explicit terms is an unusual move, one that can be interpreted as a sign of confidence or overconfidence, depending on who is reading the statement. The Falcons, a franchise eager to build momentum and credibility, may find themselves benefiting from the attention as PENIX's words have inadvertently positioned them as audacious challengers in the eyes of NFL observers. Meanwhile, the Bills, a team already considered elite, are facing the prospect of responding not just on the field but in public perception, a dual pressure that could intensify their preparation for the season. The social media echo chamber has amplified the comments to viral proportions, with threads, hashtags, and fan videos dissecting the quarterback's tone, facial expressions, and choice of words. Sports talk shows, podcasts, and YouTube channels are dedicating entire segments to debating whether PENIX Jr.'s critique will motivate Buffalo players, spark tension, or simply be forgotten after the first few games of the season. Every rumor, every quote, and every insider tidbit adds layers of complexity to the story, feeding a narrative that is equal parts drama, strategy, and spectacle, reminding fans that the NFL thrives on stories as much as on athletic performance. Inside the Falcons organization, sources indicate that Penix Jr.'s comments are being received with a mix of amusement, pride, and caution. Teammates reportedly view the statement as a bold move, a way to assert confidence and set a tone for the season, while coaching staff may be quietly strategizing on how to leverage the media attention without creating unnecessary tension. There is speculation that Penix's remarks could act as a rallying point, unifying the Falcons behind a common external opponent narrative, which can be a potent motivational tool in professional sports. Rumors suggest that some players may even see this as an opportunity to embrace a playful trash-talking dynamic with the Bills, treating it as a psychological game designed to energize both teams while building anticipation for a high-stakes matchup. Meanwhile, the Bills are reportedly aware of the commentary, with insiders hinting that veteran leadership within the organization is focused on channeling any frustration or outrage into disciplined preparation rather than public rebuttals. The rumor mill continues to churn, with analysts speculating on how this dynamic will affect everything from in-season locker room morale to the potential media circus surrounding playoff confrontations between the two franchises. Observers have noted that Penix Jr.'s words, whether intended as jest or critique, reflect a growing trend of athletes using media platforms to shape narratives, influence public perception, and even play mind games with rival teams. The timing of the statement, amidst early season chatter about playoff prospects and Super Bowl ambitions, suggests an acute awareness of how media cycles can amplify the smallest comments into major storylines. Analysts speculate that Penix Jr. may have been strategically positioning himself and the Falcons as disruptors, challenging an established powerhouse in a way that commands attention while sparking debate. Fans have latched onto this, creating memes, polls, and analysis videos that dissect every possible implication, while former players contribute commentary on the risks and rewards of publicly questioning a rival team's competence. The NFL's ecosystem thrives on such drama, and Penix Jr.'s statement serves as a reminder that rivalries are not confined to the gridiron. They exist in interviews, social media, and even whispers in locker rooms. The narrative has taken on a life of its own, bridging fan culture, media speculation, and the intricate psychological strategies of professional athletes, all centered around a single provocative comment. Before we dive back in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest Buffalo Bills updates straight to your screen. And hey, don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. Meanwhile, sports media outlets have been working overtime to verify, contextualize, and analyze Penix Jr.'s remarks, creating a feedback loop that fuels even more rumors. Every report seems to generate additional layers of speculation, from potential reactions of Bills players to possible tactical implications for upcoming matchups. Some pundits suggest that such public criticism could backfire, motivating Buffalo to elevate their performance, while others argue that it signals fearless confidence from a rising quarterback unafraid to challenge elite competition. Social media commentary has exploded, with fans crafting intricate breakdowns, humorous edits, and passionate defenses of their respective teams, showing how a single statement can generate engagement on a national scale. The rumor mill extends beyond traditional reporting, encompassing podcasts, YouTube debates, fan forums, and even casual conversations among amateur analysts, all dissecting Penix Jr.'s motivations and the potential ripple effects on team psychology. It has become a multi-layered phenomenon where perception, narrative, and competitive strategy intertwine, creating a storyline that promises to remain at the forefront of NFL discourse well into the season. Insiders also hint at the possibility that Penix Jr.'s comments could influence how future matchups are approached by both teams. Coaches are reportedly mindful of the psychological element in addition to physical preparation, understanding that statements like these can create additional stakes, heighten competitive tension, and even affect in-game decisions. The rumor has sparked discussions about the delicate balance between media savvy and overexposure, as every word now carries weight not just for public perception, but also potentially in locker room dynamics. Analysts speculate that the Falcons could harness the attention as a motivational tool, encouraging players to embrace the role of underdog challengers while projecting confidence. Conversely, the Bills may use the criticism as fuel to reinforce internal discipline, solidifying team cohesion around a collective response. The interplay between the two teams' preparation, strategy, and media presence has turned what might have been an offhand remark into a storyline with ramifications that could influence games, fan engagement, and even league narratives in ways few could have anticipated at the outset. As the NFL world digests the unfolding rumor, it becomes increasingly clear that PENIX Jr.'s statements have transformed from private musings into a full-fledged storyline that captivates fans, analysts, and insiders alike. The speculation surrounding the perceived low level of the Bills has ignited passionate discussions, fueled social media campaigns, and provided content for countless sports commentary platforms. What began as a single, possibly casual remark has evolved into a multi-layered narrative touching on rivalry, psychology, media influence, and competitive strategy. Fans eagerly await potential confrontations between the Falcons and the Bills, fully aware that every interaction, performance, and headline may now carry added significance. Whether this saga results in on-field drama, off-field tension, or simply a memorable media moment, one thing is certain. Michael Penix Jr.'s words have left an indelible mark on the ongoing story of NFL rivalries, providing endless fodder for discussion, debate, and anticipation as the league continues to evolve. That's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay on top of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you in the next update.